Thank you, Valve. We just got the biggest update we've had all year, arguably the biggest update we've had in all of CS2. There's two main takeaways from this update. Number one, if you are using any of the snap tap technology, you will be promptly detected and removed from the game. This will not result in a game ban or a Vacnet. You will just be kicked from the game you are currently in until that technology is disabled. Valve also disabled any sort of movement bind, so any jump throw binds, run jump throw, movement configs, any configs that actually gave you the snap tap technology without owning one of the keyboards has been removed and disabled from the game. You can no longer run it in your auto exec and it will no longer be functioning in the game. Now this update has gotten a lot of mixed opinions, especially the fact that people's auto jump throw binds are disabled. People rely on these very heavily. Pretty much every single instant window smoke on Mirage required some sort of run forward jump throw bind to be able to do consistently every single time, instantly as soon as you spawn into the game. Now, like I said, a lot of people are extremely upset with these changes. A lot of people, including pro players, relied on these jump throw binds to be able to consistently and instantly throw their smokes to the desired places. Now, I was trying to think of a way to word this properly to not be able to offend anybody, but honestly, it comes down to it being a skill issue. I'm not a pro player. I'm not a decorated CounterStrike veteran by any means. I couldn't hit those instant walk forward jump throw smokes if I tried, without practice, of course, but CounterStrike is an extremely in-depth game, right? Surface level, it's a very basic game. 5-on-5, one team plants the bomb, the other team tries to defuse the bomb. What makes CounterStrike so absolutely magical and why there is such a skill difference between entry-level players and the pro players that we see on the big screen is how in-depth the game goes. The amount of time it takes to master each and every single spray pattern on each different gun in the game, right? This isn't Call of Duty, right? You can't just pull down and aim perfectly. You have to spend countless hours mastering the spray patterns, mastering counter-strafing. Imagine if you spent 5,000 hours perfecting those skills in a server, counter-strafing over and over again, making sure you're on the head, making sure your crosshair placement is on the dot. And then one day, some fancy new keyboard comes out and everybody can instantly do it. I would be very upset. I would think, why did I waste all that time? I know it's a video game, right? But still, my skill that I have developed with time, effort, precision, persistence, and discipline, now anybody can achieve it just by spending a couple $100s on a fancy keyboard. Part of the reason I think Counter-Strike is so loved by so many different people is the skill gap between the best in the world and the new players. I'm not going to sit here and say that Counter-Strike is an easy game by any means. It's extremely challenging. Does anybody remember their first couple hours playing Counter-Strike? You have no idea what's happening. You don't know why you're not accurate when you're moving. You don't know how to spray the weapon properly. You don't know why your crosshair doesn't move, but the bullets are going everywhere. It's extremely challenging to master, and that was part of the appeal for me, and I'm sure that was part of the appeal for countless other players around the world. I'm kind of viewing this as a slippery slope situation where Valve is nipping the problem in the bud. If we allowed outside hardware, outside technology to allow players to be better at the game, what comes next? If we have a keyboard that gives you perfect counter strafing, makes you perfectly accurate when you need to be accurate, what comes next? Does a mouse come out that has spray control mastered? It has perfect spray control programmed into its technology? I just feel like the problem could get out of control faster than Valve could really keep it contained. So they're choosing to nip it in the bud. And overall, I think it is a very smart and wise decision by Valve. Like I said before, surface level Counter-Strike is a very simple game that has a beautiful layer of complexity in order to master the game. It has a skill ceiling that over 1 million players around the world are willing to put the time in to conquer and master. Even Shroud himself admitted that Counter-Strike is the most challenging mechanical game that you can possibly play, and I think that's what makes it beautiful. I mean, obviously I love skins, right? Don't get me wrong, but the fact that the game takes so much time to get good at, it's not a game that anybody can just pick up and perform. I think that's what makes it special. The second main takeaway from this update is Vacnet going live on a limited amount of matches. If you've played CS2 in the last year, you know that cheating is a huge problem, right? Auto B-hoppers, scripters, spin botters, whatever you want to name them, they've been rampant, and the problem really hasn't gone away, and it is one of the biggest problems that the game is facing, right behind probably lack of content. Now, Vacnet is an anti-cheat that is going to be implemented behind the scenes in the game. It's an AI system that's going to monitor games and be able to pick out hackers and remove them from the game immediately. This right here is what makes this update the best thing that we could have received short of an operation. I'm not going to act like I'm some, AI expert and tell you guys exactly how it works because I just don't know. We'll have to wait and see and find out if it's doing its job. It is in early testing. Like I said, it's only being implemented in a limited amount of matches, but I think this is such a good step in the right direction because Valve cannot release an operation with the current state of the game. If they release an operation and every single operation mission or whatever they decide to do is just flooded with cheaters, it's not going to be a great look. This was definitely the problem that they had to tackle first, and this is 100% a step in the right direction. Now, everybody makes the argument, why doesn't Valve just have a better anti-cheat? Valorant has a flawless anti-cheat, right? But the Riot client uses a kernel-level anti-cheat, which goes on your computer. It can see everything that your computer's doing and monitors it that way. That way, it can detect and make sure that there's no outside program interfering with the actual game. I extremely disagree with this approach to anti-cheat games. I know that you do consent when you download Valorant to this kernel level anti-cheat being installed on your computer, but I don't feel like it's spelt out clear enough, and I don't think that it makes a clear enough point as to what the anti-cheat actually does to you and your computer. So Valve chose to take the approach of not using a kernel level anti-cheat, and they're currently working on a solution, and I think that this is 100% a step in the right direction, and I'm extremely positive. I'm looking forward to what comes from this, right? I'm having a positive mindset. I obviously don't know if it's going to work, but at least they're trying something. This is a great change. This is a brilliant implement. I'm very excited for the future of CounterStrike. But that's about it, guys. Thanks for listening to my yap session. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Please let me know. Do you think these changes are good? Are you upset with these changes? Did you even use jump binds? Are you excited to see the new anti-cheat take effect and finally put a stop to these despicable low-life hackers? I'd love to hear it down below. If you guys are new to my channel, I am going to be giving away these Shadow Daggers Damascus Steel in minimal wear condition once we hit 1,500 subscribers here on my YouTube channel. All you have to do to enter, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment on this video, and join my Discord server that will be linked down in the description below. I will see you guys next time.